The state with the lowest sum of unclaimed tax refunds is Vermont, where 3,100 people could be eligible for just over $3 million in refunds. The average amount of money that could be owed is slightly over the national median at $901, because according to the agency, students, part-time workers, and seniors often overlook filing a tax return and they never realize they're owed a refund check. Experts are warning that Americans should start gathering their records and file the return as soon as possible to avoid missing out on a potential windfall. And low to middle income people might also realize that they stand to lose out on more than just a refund. Because the IRS warns that workers may be eligible for the so-called Earned Income Tax Credit, which provides a tax break even without a balance due. The Earned Income Tax Credit is putting an average of $2,000 back in recipients' banks and helping lift more than people out of poverty. 31 million people applied and received this credit last year, but if the taxpayers who are eligible for the credit still don't claim it. Tax credits can help reduce how much you owe or how much you can give a refund for. There are a few basic qualifications for the Earned Income Tax Credit, including being a U.S. citizen, having earned income from wages, and also in the Senate, Democrats are warning that the president not to agree to anything that would hurt the low-income Americans or to undermine the battle against climate change. Democratic senators are increasingly concerned that any deal that Biden strikes with Kevin McCarthy will include some major concessions that make it easier to approve fossil fuel extraction projects. It has spurred some of them to use the president to raise debt limit unilaterally and circumvent Republican lawmakers altogether. Democrats had urged Biden for months not to negotiate with McCarthy over a bill to raise debt limit. The president followed that advice for months, but he changed his course this week. And now there are several Democrats that have said that they will not vote for any legislation that will go against the promises they made to the American people. More relief bills need to be passed in Congress. Chuck Schumer has also confirmed that he's been having private conversations with two holdout Democratic senators on making big changes to the filibuster. Schumer even admitted that pushing through a rule change like this at least would be an uphill climb, but a climb that needs to be made to help the American people. And changing the filibuster is actually an idea that is supported by several Senate Democrats that want to get President Biden's bill passed as quickly as possible. And there are Republicans and a few Democrats that are currently standing in the way of passing Biden's economic agenda. The Senate has a long-standing practice of allowing any one senator to object to proceedings, and what's generally referred to as a filibuster can pause action and even on votes. This is what is known as a filibuster, and as the country and Congress has grown more partisan, the filibuster has actually become a key practice used by both parties. Year by year, everybody, more and more senators threaten to wage filibusters to block legislation. Overcoming filibusters can take days, if not weeks. Even without a senator holding the floor, filibusters have forced senators into all-night and weekend votes to advance the bill. And that happened during the passage of the Affordable Care Act. So it would make a huge difference if the filibuster is actually removed from the Senate. But do you think it should be done? Tell me your thoughts on this, everybody. I want to see President Biden do a better job in helping out the American people with the fourth stimulus check. He definitely must do this. And if you guys agree with me, then comment down below. So I'm actually keeping an eye out on the House of Representatives and the Senate, and all members of Congress on what they say about the fourth stimulus bills. Thousands of small businesses have been hit hard by this crisis, and so Congress could definitely be looking into providing stimulus payments for small business owners. Lawmakers also need to send more financial aid to senior citizens and SSI, SSDI, and RRB beneficiaries. So there are many measures of the past day stimulus packages that are unfortunately not in effect right now. It is very possible that lawmakers will still reinstate. Millions of Americans see their monthly benefit check increase, everybody. It's happening now. Households with low income will be able to claim extra relief money starting this month. Lawmakers have approved new legislation that would allocate billions of dollars towards new crisis relief assistance programs. The Department of Children and Families also announced that the Florida application for Disaster SNAP program has been approved. The program will provide assistance to food families and individuals affected by the hurricane who are not already receiving food assistance benefits through the programs. It's going to help so many people out now, everybody, and this is really great because state officials have said the program will be implemented by phases and by each county starting Monday, October 10th. So it's going to be helping so many people this week and this month with stimulus payments. People get the help they need. The Secretary of the State told reporters that our department is working around the clock to provide critical resources to families that are impacted by this, and our goal is to provide families with support as quickly as possible. And more than 500,000 Massachusetts households will actually start receiving the food assistance and can get a boost this month from the starting of the Keeping High with Inflation. Now, Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker has actually announced that 550,000 households will participate in the SNAP's program and will see an increase starting in the October 22 benefits. And those receiving SNAP benefits will get a 12% increase, with households seeing an average monthly boost of $25 to $30. The federal government adjusts SNAP benefit payments yearly to keep up with inflation, and Baker's office said that this recent increase reflects Massachusetts residents and the cost of living and fight hunger and food insecurity across the state. The Department of Transitional Assistance Acting Commissioner said in a press release that SNAP is a critical tool in providing individuals and families with the financial power to buy the food they need. It also plays an important role as an economic stabilizer, providing an influx of federal dollars into the state's economy, supporting our grocery stores, corner stores, and local farms. Utility costs for Massachusetts has also influenced SNAP benefits. Over the summer, the state got an approval from the federal government to adjust the heating costs used to determine the new benefit amount, reflecting the regional rise in utility bills. The administration says it hopes to have a continued SNAP emergency allotment and free school meals for all residents and students this year. In Hawaii's minimum wage actually increased to $12 an hour. The increase will mean an average of about $300 more per month for workers at that wage, but it could also impact their ability to collect food SNAP benefits. The SNAP program is based on gross monthly income, and Joseph Campos, the deputy director for the state, has said that the state will help those on the cusp of losing their benefits when the time comes for the review. He added that the federal government will use the offset wage increase when they up the requirement for those receiving food stamp benefits. The higher income rules jumped 12.5% because of skyrocketing inflation, and that could actually protect most people's benefits. Currently, there are 160,000 Hawaii residents enrolled in the program, and New Mexico is also issuing a fourth stimulus check worth at least $400 to help the qualified low-income households. During its 2022 legislative session, the state allocated $10 million for economic aid to help low-income residents. And so while most state recipients will be receiving their payments via direct deposit, you can also get it via paper check, so be on the lookout for that.
Net interest income?
Well, I think it's hard to tell, right? You know, the Fed's on a path to continue to increase rates. At least that's what it appears to be doing. And the market's pricing in a number of incremental rates from here. So that will certainly help. You know, we'll continue to have to pass some of that along to customers through deposit pricing. And, you know, we'll see how loan growth progresses for the rest of the year. But we're in an environment now where we're benefiting from higher rates, as we thought we would coming into this, you know, given our positioning that we've done over the last couple of years.
You mentioned deposit pricing, and I wanted to hit that too, because I know that investors are really paying attention